Want to be part of the stories? Join my Patreon, and I'll draw you or two characters of your choice as part of the horror universe I create. With exclusive rewards like shoutouts and custom art, you'll directly support the channel while becoming a unique part of the content. Check out the tiers and join the community today.
The reflection in the rain. I've always hated thunderstorms. Something about the constant rumble of thunder and the streaks of lightning always put me on edge. That night, the rain pounded against the windows like 1,000 tiny fists, and the power had gone out, leaving me alone in the dark house. Just me and the rain. I lit a few candles and tried to distract myself with my phone, but the storm was relentless. The wind howled outside, and the old house creaked with every gust. I was already on edge when I heard the first knock. A soft tapping sound, like something brushing against the window. I got up, cautiously walking toward the living room window. The rain blurred the glass, but in the flash of lightning, I saw it, my reflection. Except it wasn't moving the way I was. I froze, staring at the reflection that was staring back at me. It tilted its head, smiling slightly, while I stood still, too terrified to move. The knock came again, this time louder. It wasn't coming from the window anymore, it was coming from inside the house. I spun around, heart racing. I grabbed the nearest object, a fireplace poker, and walked through the house, checking every room. Nothing. No one. But the feeling didn't leave. It felt like eyes were on me, watching my every move. Then the front door rattled. A sudden, hard shake, like someone was trying to force it open. I rushed to the door, heart pounding on my chest.
"Who's there?"
I yelled, gripping the poker tighter. No answer. Just the rain pounding down, louder than ever, and the door creaking slightly, as if someone was pressing against it. I took a deep breath and peeked through the peephole. Nothing. No one on the porch. But the knocking started again. This time, it was slow and deliberate, from just behind me. The reflection in the window. It wasn't my reflection anymore. The stranger in the rain. The storm had been going for hours, heavy rain turning the streets into rivers. I was home alone, sitting in the living room, curled up with a book, trying to drown out the noise. My parents were out of town, and I thought I'd enjoy having the place to myself, but the rain was making me anxious. I jumped when I heard a loud bang from the kitchen. My first thought was the wind had blown something over, but when I got up to check, everything looked normal. The door to the backyard was closed, and there was nothing out of place. I went back to the living room, trying to ignore the feeling that something was wrong. But then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw movement by the window. I glanced over, and through the rain-streaked glass, I saw a figure standing in the backyard. I froze. The person was just standing there in the rain, motionless, facing the house. I couldn't see their face through the downpour, but they weren't moving at all. I quickly grabbed my phone and called the police. As I waited for them to answer, I peeked back out the window, but the figure was gone. The operator on the other end told me to stay calm and that an officer would be there soon. I hung up, trying to shake off the fear, but then I heard it, the back door handle jiggling. I tiptoed to the kitchen, heart in my throat, and saw the door slowly inching open. I backed away, and that's when I heard footsteps. Heavy, wet footsteps, coming from the hallway behind me. I spun around, but no one was there. Yet, the sound was unmistakable, coming closer and closer. I ran to the front door, but as I reached for the lock, I felt a hand grab my shoulder. I screamed, turning around, but no one was there. The door swung open just as the police arrived. But I knew the stranger wasn't outside anymore.